this evening. Inaugural interdenominational boat cruise slated for this Saturday. High-ranking GPSU member calls for investigation into the public service. Manganese mining expected to revitalize Matthews Ridge in the region. Teens in Trinidad arrested for stealing hot dogs from their school. And internationally, one expert suggests melting an iceberg to solve South Africa's water crisis.
From Safe TV headquarters in South Rival Gardens, this is Safe TV Headline News with George Gonzalez.
Today is Wednesday, May the 2nd, 2018, and this edition of Headline News is now being streamed live on our Facebook page as well as our YouTube channel. Thank you for joining us. Guyana Defense Force Captain Orwayne Sandy will stand trial for the murder of Riona Payne. Sandy's case was delayed last month pending a psychiatric evaluation. The report by Dr. Burial Harry was presented today in court. Dr. Harry deemed Sandy mentally fit to continue with the trial. Sandy's lawyer, however, requested more time for an independent psychiatric evaluation to be conducted on his client. His request was granted by the magistrate, and as such, the case was adjourned to May 24th, with Sandy being further remanded until then. Looking for a family-friendly thing to do on Saturday? How about a cruise down the Essequibo? Wendell Jeffrey tells us more in this report.
It's an opportunity for Christians of different background to be together, for us to pray for the Essequibo. We know that Essequibo is Venezuela want to claim Essequibo. So we believe by being there, we are going to be praying and asking God, that large body, more than 1,400 persons being there to pray, intercede for the country, government, the races, abuse, all these things we'll be praying for as we travel.
There is an inaugural interdenomination boat cruise slated for this coming Saturday, and the planning committee members of the event said that it is almost sold out already. Pastor Terry Thomas spoke about the purpose and the intent of the cruise.
It's going to be this religious boat cruise.
Yeah.
Tell us a little about that. Has anything like that ever been done in Guyana here?
I'm not certain that anything of this nature was ever done. I think there was cruise before by members of the church, but not one of this nature that you targeted persons from different denomination, anybody to be on this one. And this is known as a praise cruise.
Wow. Why the idea?
Well, the idea is basically threefold, I think. One is for believers to be together on the water, having the opportunity, like many persons do have, to experience what it is to have a cruise in Guyana. Secondly, for us to let our requests be made known unto God in respect of Essequibo. All Guyanese know the controversy relative to this part of our country, Essequibo. So we want to be there, wherever God's people is, and we dedicate prayer for the nation, for the natural resources, for the government, for the races. We're heading from Parika to Bartica. We are told that Bartica is one of the most beautiful green town, and therefore we want people to experience that.
When is the cruise?
This Saturday, the 5th. First, there will be an interlude of music. Then, when we're about to leave, we will have opening prayer. Then we'll have, comments by someone who will welcome everybody and give them an overview of what's going to be happening. Then we'll have a period of worship and praise, and then after that we'll have a word by Bishop John Cummins, who will be coming from the USA. Different persons will be called upon to pray for different aspects of our countries, because there are many persons who have never been to Bartica, at least in recent times, to see the progress there. And so we'll be greeted by the mayor of Bartica and his contingents. Then we will have a short time there where we'll be declaring blessings over that part of our country.
Can a person travel with a vehicle?
No, we'll not be taking any vehicle. You're just going up there. We have buses available on Bartica that will be willing to perform conducted tours to take persons around who want to go and see that place. We do have Cheryl Malone. She'll be coming with her band, 8-man strong. We'll be having Major Joe B. Right? We'll be having Joshua Joe. We'll be having some other artists, Sister Asana. We'll be having persons from Linden, right? We'll be having Pastor Baptiste, who will be singing Christian Calypso, all right? And we have dancers from the East Coast, and so there'll be lots of variety of It's not necessarily entertainment, because it will be ministering to the people and to the Lord, but we'll be enjoying ourselves.
For Channel 2 Headline News, Wendell Jeffrey.
Thanks, Wendell. The NDMA continues with its mandate of transforming government services and bridging the digital divide. Last weekend, the NDMA visited the village of Oriella Mission, East Berbice Quarantine Region 6. The technical team has begun the process of laying fiber optic cables in order to provide free government Wi-Fi to the area. This will include connecting the schools with internet as well as opening an e-government ICT hub where residents can have access to the internet. Chairman of the NDMA, Mr. Floyd Levy, and his team also met with residents in the area to discuss the benefits of the initiative and the need for community involvement. Today, 106 secondary schools, 98 primary schools, as well as 34 regional offices, tertiary institutes, and skills training institutions have been connected to the free internet service. A fatal accident on the Linden Highway kills 2. Esther Sobers has more.
Police have launched an investigation into a fatal accident involving a police officer on Monday around 7:30 a.m. Officer Tion Hope and taxi driver Quayson Anthony were killed when the car they were traveling in struck the rear of a truck near the Low Creek on Suesdike Linden Highway. According to police reports, the vehicle was proceeding north with 4 occupants when it collided with a piece of lumber hanging from the rear of the truck, which was traveling in the same direction. Despite almost weekly reports of fatal accidents, according to the Guyana Police Force, road fatalities for the period of January to May have reduced compared to 2017. There were 33 fatalities in 2018 as compared to 35 fatalities in 2017. According to police, speeding and driving under the influence continues to be the main contributing factor in road fatalities. With this in mind, the Guyana Police Force Traffic Department has implemented various road safety programs to educate drivers on the 5 C's in road safety.
Education program that is up to Friday morning. The entire traffic division and myself was on the TV. But always the same thing going on. Right, the education program is ongoing. Like school drivers, public and private transportation is ongoing.
However, Ashram is of the opinion that persons may not be heeding to the lectures.
What we got to understand, with the Bonker education program, we was asking ourselves if persons are listening to it and assessing what we are saying, and persons need to use the road with no care, observe the 5 C's. We spoke about cyclists, pedestrians using the road. We advise them on calling pedestrian, observe the curve drill. Whether you're on the pedestrian crossing, you have to observe the curve drill. At night, whether day and night, you must wear clothes, like color clothes that it could easily be seen by drivers. There is an ongoing program.
Meanwhile, the driver that caused the fatal accident on the Linden Highway is in police custody, assisting with investigations. For Channel 2 Headline News, Esther Sobers.
Thanks, Esther. Don't go away. Coming up after the break. Manganese mining is expected to revitalize Matthews Ridge. And Van Slootman Corbin calls for investigation into the public service. But first, here's today's foreign currency exchange rates. For the latest in news from Guyana, the region, and beyond, visit our website, headlinenewsguyana.com.
It's always fresh, tasty, enticing, and the best in town, served hot from our experienced chefs. Come and enjoy our daily meals with a wide and delicious menu to choose from, also a wide variety of pastries and dessert. We can also host your luncheons, cocktails, parties, and formal gathering. For reservation, call 225-1730, 225-0038, and delivery 225-0195 or 225-0159. The new thriving Chinese restaurant, 32 Main Street, Georgetown.
For all your floor covering needs, Kissoons has you covered. From wall-to-wall carpets, runners, rugs in all sizes and designs, mats for all entranceways, vinyl and rubber tiles too. And with our vast stock and knowledge, you're guaranteed to find your floor covering solution with us. We provide free estimates, and did I mention we install too? Like I said, we've got you covered. Kissoons Furniture, furnishing homes for over 60 years.
So, you have finally been allocated a house lot and you're ready to build your dream home. What is the next step? Get your building plan drawn by a professional. Good plan? Bad plan? Submit your finished plan to the Neighborhood Democratic Council or Town Council for building permission, along with other relevant documents. Do not build before you receive permission from the relevant authorities. However, in the interim, you can commence preparatory works for construction such as cleaning of vegetation and drains. A fee is attached to the application for the approval of the plan, which is determined by the local authority. Once permission has been granted, only then should you proceed with construction. At every stage of construction, ensure that you and your contractor adhere to the specifications of the plan. If alterations are necessary, you must resubmit your plan to the NDC for approval of the changes. During construction, do not block drains and roadways with construction materials. It is your duty to become familiar with the building codes, since this will safeguard you against discrepancies.
Mom, what are you doing with GPL on your list?
Child, you forgot I have to pay GPL?
You got time with GPL?
I have to keep these lights on. The customers who think in that manner and refuse to honor their obligation to GPL are obviously not playing their part in ensuring quality service delivery. So, I will continue to pay my GPL bill on time, every time.
I recognize the value of your point, Mom. You were right.
Welcome back. The Seventh-day Adventist Church in Agricola hosted a health walk recently. The walk was well received and even catered for visually impaired persons. Wendell Jeffrey was there and filed this report.
Georgia caregivers of Agricola had another successful event yesterday for Labor Day. They had their fun walk and run. One began at 6. The walk began at 6 in the a.m. yesterday, and the participants were varied. Some were challenged physically, visually. The old folks came out, the younger folks came out, and they just had a good time. And I pulled some aside to ask what were their takes, how they felt about the event. And here's what they had to say.
Every year complete. I never drop out. Always from the Mock Road there to Agricola Assembly's Church.
How do you feel walking today?
I feel good in the name of Jesus.
How far you walk from?
I walk from Mock Road head.
You completed the walk?
Complete.
Now that you finished, how you feel?
Well, feel good, real good.
We had a pull aside of some of those who participated in the walk and the run, and here are some of the things that they had to say about winning their respective events, or indeed just about participating, just for participating in the event.
My name is Shania Moore.
And what space you brought?
I brought third at the fitness walk.
How you feel?
I feel great. Yeah, there was a race, a fitness walk and race, and I took part and bring first.
How do you feel?
I feel good because I won.
All right.
And it's helping young people to come out and exercise for Labor Day. Agriculture is not a bad place. It's the people that come in here and make themselves bad. You know, agriculture is a good place, especially by the scheme. It's a residential area, but in front there are some of those gang related. You know, so it's a good place.
I feel, well, it's an educational something where you can get like everybody from agriculture to come out and participate and, you know, get involved in this run. Yeah, I said it feels good, man.
My name is Isaiah and I feel great about this race. I did first in the 14 to 17 category.
My name is Andeman Hardal. I feel great about the race because I did a good thing because I bring second. I from St. Juan and Phyllis Park Agriculture.
Well, it was a good race than the last time. At least more youths come out and make it more lively. You know, feel good competing with the rest of the youths. It was a good race, and the next time we hold a next annual race, I hope that the rest come out.
My name is Thierry Moore. I run in the 11 to 13 category, and it was good. It was challenging, but I was fearful when I started the race, but get over the confidence.
The coordinator is Ingrid Caddell, and she does it every year, and she says that it was successful again this year, and she's glad that the folks came out in their numbers, and it is something that she plans to do on an annual basis. I think it's about 2 or 3 years now that they've been doing this, and Ms. Caddell plans to continue to do this because it's good for the community, it's good for not only for the image of the community, but indeed for the health of those who participate in this activity. Back to you, George.
Thanks, Wendell. Manganese mining is coming back to Matthews Ridge. Find out more in this report. The reintroduction of manganese mining in Region 1 will bring a revitalization of Matthews Ridge, according to Minister of Natural Resources, Raphael Trotman.
The road is going to be improved. We're going to have to refurbish the hospital. We're going to have to do work on other facilities. Mr. Chairman, you should be pleased to know that this entire sub-region is going to be lifted up.
Trotman was at the time addressing residents of the community during a recent trip to the area. He was updating residents on the progress of the project, which is slated to begin later this year. Many applauded the move, including this man. He believes that young people in the area can greatly benefit from the company's presence in the region.
There are a number of young people here who I think need employment, and it will be a good opportunity for them to grasp it and fit into some section of the manganese company.
Some 1,500 jobs are expected to be created during the construction phase that will see the necessary infrastructure being built for the production of manganese. Guyana Manganese Incorporated is investing $100 million to build the project. Some 500,000 tons of manganese concentrates is expected to be produced over the next 13 years of the mine's life. Production is expected to start in the second quarter of 2019. It is at this point employment is expected to hover around 400 to 600 persons. Manganese was discovered in the area in 1903, but was not put into production until 1960. This operation, which was led by Reunion Mining Company, closed in 1969, although substantial reserves still exist in the area. During yesterday's Labor Day rally, the head of the Women's Advisory Committee of the GPSU, Karen Van Slootman Corbin, called for an investigation into the Public Service Department. Wendell Jeffrey was there and filed this report.
Yesterday's high point at the National Park was Karen Van Slootman Corbin's address to the Labor Day celebration participants. In her capacity as the head of the Women's Advisory Committee of the Guyana Public Service Union, Corbin began by establishing that her mentor is the late stalwart trade unionist Herbert Nathaniel Critchlow.
All intents tell you that Hubert Nathaniel Critchlow was a man who genuinely had the concerns of the workers at heart of this country.
For the next 30 minutes or so, she delivered a very fiery speech.
When we've been sexually harassed, I don't know if we're ashamed We are frightened that we'll be victimized. In some cases, yes, the fear is there of victimization, that if you talk out, you may lose your job. But I want to tell you one thing. Talk out, stand up, speak out. It must stop. Stand up. And in doing that, do not compromise yourself, because most times when we do that, that is when we cannot talk. We have to remain quiet and subject ourselves to the sexual harassment taking place in our workplaces.
According to Van Slytman Corbin, the Public Service Department should be subject to scrutiny.
I believe there's an urgent need for an investigation to be launched into the operations of the Department of Public Service. The Department of Public Service ought to be functioning in the benefit of all public servants. It is not happening. It is functioning for some public servants, the friends and cronies of a few, and saying that and I have the evidence to support it.
The very impassioned trade unionist then turned her attention to the trade union leaders.
We've had enough of our trade union leaders. We got to talk to them, because if we don't tell them, we want to say we're going behind the back and talk. We talk to them right in front of the face. All you here, wherever they may be, we talking it in front of the face. Wherever you all be, we talking it in front of your face. We've had enough of those trade union leaders who want to hold on to those unions as though the unions belong to them. There are trade union leaders in this country, in this national park, denying legitimate, bona fide public servants freedom of association, denying us the right to be part of a union that we want to be right in this park here. You are just being hypocritical. That is what you are doing. So don't talk about decent work if you're not walking the talk. Don't talk it, you have to walk it, you have to practice it. The funds of the union ought to be used for the development of the union and its membership, not for trade union tourism, not for your self-aggrandizement, not to fill your pocket. Some of you are there not for the outcome, what you can achieve and your effective representation for the workers, but rather you are there for the income, what could go into your pockets.
As the crowd cheered her on, she continued her tirade against the current union leaders.
Yes, we want them to be like you, but emulate you, but Nathaniel Critchley. They're not, many of them are not doing that. And if it is that we have to withhold support from those who think they're going to dare in them position, we're going to withhold it. We're going to withhold it. We're going to make a personal flag to drape over them. We're going to withhold it. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. I thank you.
For Channel 2 Headline News, Wendell Jeffrey.
Thanks, Wendell. Over the weekend, Junior Minister of Public Infrastructure Annette Ferguson took a tour of Plaisance. Esther Sobers has more.
During a walkabout over the weekend, Junior Minister of Public Infrastructure Annette Ferguson, along with representatives of GWI and other ministries, visited the community of Plaisance East Coast Darara.
Our presence here is primarily to assess some critical areas, because residents are facing problems, road problems, you have drainage problems, you have electricity problems, you have bridge problems. So we are primarily here to assess these areas and to see exactly, we will go to the drawing table to see exactly who will do what, from who will do what.
During the tour, Minister Ferguson got a first-hand look of various parts of the community that has been neglected for over the years. For example, several villagers expressed their frustration over the stalled road rehabilitation. However, Minister Ferguson reassured residents that road work will resume.
Believe you me, conditions that people are made to traverse, conditions that people are faced with, it's unbelievable. So I think as a caring government, it is our responsibility, because mind you, many of these areas, many of these problems, it didn't just exist 5 years, 3 years ago. These are prolonged problems, right? So over a period of time. So, the areas that we have visited, they are indeed in a deplorable state, and, the central government, the local authorities, the RDCs, we would have to pool our efforts and resources together to see how best we can address some of these problems.
Additionally, Minister Ferguson expressed that her ministry has already budgeted programs in 2018 that will be utilized for various infrastructure projects. For Channel 2 Headline News, Esther Silvers.
Thanks, Esther. We here at Channel 2 Headline News believe there are people in Guyana who go unrecognized for their exceptional service to the community. It is with this in mind that we introduce Headline News Person of the Week. Headline News Person of the Week recognizes those people in Guyana who are inspiring or are making a positive impact in their respective communities. A new Person of the Week will be featured on Channel 2 Headline News every Wednesday at 7 p.m. starting May 9th, 2018, and on our website, headlinenewsguyana.com. Do you know someone who deserves to be recognized? Contact us. Send your nomination to our Facebook account, or you can email us at safetv2hln@gmail.com with the subject heading Person of the Week nomination. In your message, please give the person's name, location, contact information, and a reason why they should be featured. If we like what we see, your nominee just may be featured on Headline News Person of the Week. Coming up after the break, teens arrested for stealing hot dogs, and marine salvage expert suggests an iceberg as a cure for South Africa's water woes. Stay with us. Need a ride around town and beyond? Look no further than Oasis Ride Taxi Service. With affordable prices and some of the best drivers in the business, we've been delivering prompt and reliable service to Guyana for over 16 years. We also offer tours, chauffeur service, and even car rentals. You can call us at 231-5554 or 225-5496. For deals, specials, and more information, find our page on Facebook. Oasis Ride Taxi Service. Let's go.
The Big King you love just chickened out. Introducing the new Chicken Big King with 2 crispy chicken patties and our signature king sauce. The new Chicken Big King, now part of our Burger King favorites. Only at Burger King, where taste is king.
Welcome back. Bibi Bacchus brings us the regional and international headlines of the day.
An abandoned building occupied by squatters in Sao Paulo caught fire and collapsed on Tuesday. Firefighters said at least 1 person had been killed and that there could be more casualties. The building, a former headquarters of the federal police, caught fire around 1:30 a.m. local time. Firefighters set up a perimeter and worked to evacuate people. The 26-story building collapsed a few hours after the fire fully engulfed the building. 3 teens have pled guilty to shop breaking and larceny at Hillview Cottage in Trinidad. The teens are said to have forced open an exterior gate to gain access to the school's cafeteria around 1 a.m. on Friday. They stole several food items, including hot dogs, snacks, and supplement drinks. A security guard who was on duty at the time spotted the teenagers and called the police. The teens appeared before the magistrate's court on Monday and were each fined 8,000 TT dollars. They were given 3 months to pay the fine. If they fail to do so, they will have to serve 3 months hard labor. And in international news, suicide bombers killed dozens of people at a mosque and a marketplace in northeastern Nigeria on Tuesday. According to authorities, the twin attack bears the hallmark of Islamist insurgent Boko Haram. The blasts happened around 1:20 p.m. in Mubai, a city some 200 kilometers from the Adamawa state capital, Yola. A source at Mubi General Hospital told AFP they had so far received 37 bodies and dozens of critically injured persons. Suspicions immediately fell on Boko Haram, the jihadist group whose quest to establish a hardline Islamic State in northern Nigeria. The group has left at least 20,000 dead since 2009. And finally, a marine salvage expert has unveiled plans to tow icebergs from Antarctica to South Africa to help solve Cape Town's crippling water shortage. Nick Sloan said he was looking for investments to guide huge chunks of ice across the ocean and melt them down into millions of liters of drinking water. South Africa has declared a national disaster after two of its driest years on record in 2015 and 2016. Authorities have warned that the city's water could run out as soon as next month if the dry spell continues. Reporting for Channel 2 Headline News, Bibi Bacchus.
Now for your 7-day weather forecast and bridge retraction schedule. And that's Channel 2 Headline News for this Wednesday evening. As we take our leave, we invite you to find Channel 2 Headline News on Facebook and YouTube. You can also tune in tomorrow morning at 6:30 for a rebroadcast, and Thursday evening at 7 o'clock for more news. For now, I'm George Gonzalez, signing out from this newscast, saying thank you for welcoming us into your homes, and do have a blessed evening.